also gonna go with some, I was thinking maybe this color for purple and orange. You know, just get our basic rainbow colors here of lights going. So that's what we're gonna go for. So here I spread out all my different colors and I'm kind of going down the rainbow. So I'm doing purple, blue, red, orange, yellow, green. And basically just kind of, you know, repeating my steps over and over and over again. So if you can see those colors. All the colors of the rainbow, and then we'll continue on and on and on until it's completely finished. But in the midst of mixing it up, I will kind of reverse things. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing the green on this side, and then I'm going to do everything in reverse. So this time start with the green, and then it's kind of half and half of just mixed colors. Well, my red finally dried out, so let me put in a drop before I damage my art. Purple's dry, I'm going to go ahead and add a new dollop of that. So it gives it kind of a fun, you know, two-toning coloration. It goes back and forth. And it's not so repetitive. But yet you're still sticking to that kind of color code, which works really great. So let's go ahead and continue to do the reverse. We're doing our green, we're doing our yellow. Our yellow is dry, so you have to put another drop. But basically this is the process. It takes patience. It takes a lot of patience to do this. But when you have like nothing but patience, it kind of just comes natural. So, let's see. Alright, our orange looks really dry. Oh no, I overdropped that one. Alright, and then the next one is we had like a plane for it for a second. It's like a minute just to run the golf course. And there we go. Okay. So here we have what looks like a rainbow. If you look at it from this side, we got our light bulbs. So we're going to let that dry. Place a little cap over it. Take a look at our little gizmo bud, and that's basically dry. Okay, now imagine him with like all these little Christmas lights behind him. I don't know if you can see that, because I can't get it too close. I don't want to accidentally press it up against it. You can kind of see the Christmas lights. It's cute. It's something that it's going to be fun, it's going to be colorful, and it's definitely going to be a different design. I can definitely say for myself, I've never personally seen anybody put something like this together. So it's going to be a lot of fun being able to turn this little tiny project into a full creation that I made. And I am using I'm using the same plate. I got this plate from Sugar Bubbles. Sugar Bubbles is found on Lantern and Ren. If you guys are interested in trying to find some really cool nail templates, they have some really, really cool ones. They do trademark theme ones, you know, from like all different kinds of movies and programs, and even some like old school cartoons, all the way to like video games. So it's a lot of fun, and you find a lot of cool things. I'm just gonna wipe up real quick, get everything ready, and then we're gonna go ahead and move on to applying it to my nail. Okay, so basically the next step is to go ahead and determine where you want to place your actual new stamp that you basically made onto your nail. So here I can decide to either put Gizmo in my middle finger, because it has probably one of the biggest spots to display, or I can do it on my thumb, which also has a nice wide area to display. So let's go ahead, and today we'll put it on my middle finger. In order to make sure that this gets done properly, you have to prepare. To prepare, I have to buffer off all this old nail polish till we are at a complete base area where there's no color or pigmentation kind of sticking up. Everything's nice and leveled and smooth. Now, because I do have nail polish over this particular nail, I have to file it off and get it as smooth as possible, because the next step is to apply an adhesive to make sure that I transfer my little tiny picture that I just painted together with nail polish, that it has a good smooth transition. So that's basically what's going to happen. Let's pause and fast forward. Fast forward, here's what you want. No shine, everything off completely, just down to the base. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, one, take my handy brush and just dust off any extra particles that I have on there. We want a completely clean nail base. Two, get your base coat. The reason you want to get a base coat is because of the fact that, see, base coat. You want to get it because of the fact it leaves a sticky residue. So we're just going to apply it on like you normally would put a base coat on. And we're going to apply our background. The background meaning it's going to be the lights. because we're going to be overlapping 2 stamps. Just make sure we clean off all of our edges. I want to make sure that those are all cleaned off. And you can't have it completely freshly wet when you apply. It has to be partially dry. That way it has that sticky layer to it. And get your stamper ready. Alright, and then here's where you're going to make your decision of where you want to place your lights. There's definitely a certain particular way that they hang, and I want them to hang a certain way. So I'm going to go ahead, and the way I like to do this is roll from one side to the other. It's usually the best way to do it. Alright, so here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And we just got our Christmas lights on. Now, if anything didn't go on properly, you can just reapply it. There you go. See? Christmas lights. Okay, now anything extra that you didn't want on there, you could just basically go ahead and take a Q-tip and dip it into your acetone. It's like this one little part down here. I want to remove that. And there you go, nice and clean. Okay, so now that we have our Christmas lights on, we have to make sure that this is all nice and dry. Give it a good blow. The next step is very, very tricky. Because of this lacquer, and this is also a lacquer, anybody who has experience with nail polishes knows that if you go ahead and you try to apply a lacquer over another lacquer, it can actually dissolve that previous color underneath and it will run. So to be very, very, very safe with this, get some fresh nail polish, make sure that's all dry, and don't smear, just kind of blot. See what just happened? I smeared it. So you have to be very, very careful. Now with that, I'm going to take my Q-tip once again, and we can just clean that up. Okay. But be very, very careful. This is why it's kind of like a blot drop. Drop. And the reason I'm doing this is because I do need that sticky layer in between to pick up our trace. Top part as well. Make sure that it's going to stick. Just clean it off. Now this is where these stampers come in handy because of the clarity of them. You can actually look straight forward and place where you want to put it. You want to make sure that that nail polish is dry and it's not wet and clumpy. Be very careful. This is where it takes time. because if not, you will damage 2 images. And you have to start all over again, and that really sucks. I applied a clumpy amount, so I have to really be careful with this. Because if it's still partially wet on there and then you try to transfer over a dry image on wet lacquer, it will dissolve your dry image. I learned this the hard way. Alright, it smells about right. There's a certain smell that this stuff has when it's done and when it's still wet. And there it is. Our little makwai. I don't know if this is clearing up or not. Here we go. And the little party lights in the background. Now, how do I get to complete this? I shall show you. Hi, so yes, this was a quick little change. I had to clean up real quick, but I needed to get out my Teresa UV LED nail lamp. This thing is awesome. So of course it works with any type of UV gel that can harden, and I absolutely am crazy in love with this. I get the Beatles top coat from Amazon. It is a gel clear coat polish, which I use a lot, so I'm at the bottom of my barrel here on this one. I always have backups, but basically what I love about this is there's no lacquer in this. This is a gel, so basically you can paint this on to your image, and unlike a clear top coat, it's not going to damage it. It's not going to turn it into jelly, and it's not going to melt away on you. It literally coats the top like resin does, and it hardens to touch, and it leaves a beautiful shine coat. There is one that if you wanted this image not to be shiny, if you wanted it to be like a matte, there actually is a gel matte polish that also works, with a UV lamp. So basically, I'm encasing this little image in UV gel, and basically, what's wonderful about it is that you could clean the edges. Nothing stays put until you go ahead and turn on that UV lamp. And then once that whatever you put in there, that's what it captured. That's how it holds it. That's it. So right now what I want to do is I want to kind of layer it on a little thick, just due to the fact that gel runs and moves around, and if you don't put it on thick enough, you'll have one spot where there'll literally be nothing on it, and it'll just be exposing your lacquer polish. So that's why I want to make sure that I put this on really good. And a little trick that I learned is tapping actually helps. To tap your nail and to kind of whoosh it back and forth to kind of get that right shape, just because it's a moving liquid and it shifts and it moves as you move. So if you keep it too steady in one spot, it will literally just run into that one area, and you don't want that, So I inspect this really, really well before I go ahead and put it into a lamp, just because if you don't get it right the first time around, it's not like it's impossible to get it to fix it. You just have to do a lot of filing and then repainting again. If you can manage to get it done the right way the first time around, trust me, that's the best way. So like I said, I play with it a little bit and make sure that it's in every corner I want it to be. And it creates like a nice dome. Alright, so here's another trick that I do. Right before I go to put it into my lamp, I do a quick inspection. If I see that it looks really nice and I like it, I'll go ahead and take my lamp, I'll turn on the lamp in advance, and I will rotate my hand inside of it with the lamp still in place. this prevents my gel from setting. If I'm laying it completely flat, what happens is it'll go off to the sides, and then the gel won't set right. So when I do it like this and I kind of hold it upside down, it gives me that leveling playground that I can level out that gel to make sure that when it sets up, it's setting up where I want it to set up. I don't want it to run off to the sides, or when you look straight onto the nail, it's like flat on the top and then it's big and bubbly on the sides. That's exactly what you don't want. So that's what I do to get that nice dome, perfect, thin layer on the edges, more domey on the top part with my gel polish. So that's my secret. It's out. There you go. And this is my end result. I wish this would clear up a little bit. Let me see if I can clear this up a little bit. I'm pretty sure it's probably the lights. Maybe the lights a little bit. Anyways, he looks super cute. My little gizmo with his party lights in the background. And if you want to see something really cool, let me turn off these lights to show you something really neat. They glow. There you go. There's my little gizmo dude. And his Christmas lights. My snapshots will come out a lot better than my video. But if you can see him, there he is. And that's how I do my nail art. They don't look really great on the video, but in person and snapshots where it's a lot clearer, they come out way better. So there you go. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just wanted to do this quick tutorial to show you exactly how I do my nail art. And maybe one day I'll go ahead and probably do a tutorial on how I do my nails. Because I do suffer from very weak nails. They tend to bend and then they split, and before I know it, like, I'm having to deal with very sore fingers, blood, my nails broken in half. It's just crazy. So I do my nails to, one, protect them, and because when they're on their own for weeks or months, it doesn't matter how long I can be without nails, they're just very thin, and they tend to break, and it doesn't matter how many vitamins I take, they're not getting any stronger. So maybe I'm just taking the wrong vitamins. But anyways, that's how I do my nails, and this is my tutorial on my nail art. I hope you guys liked it, and I hope, I'm sorry. I hope you guys have a great day, and hopefully this can inspire you to want to do something on your own, and be creative as well. All right, have a great day. Bye.